Welcome to Hotwired. In today's top story, U.S. seeks one-day prison for officer convicted in botched raid. The Breonna Taylor case, a one-day sentence for a civil rights violation, the death of Breonna Taylor, a black woman killed by police in her Louisville, Kentucky home in March 2020, sparked widespread protests and reignited the national conversation about police brutality and racial injustice. While no officers were charged with Taylor's death in state court, former Louisville Metro Police Department officer Brett Hankison was federally convicted of violating her civil rights. Now, the Justice Department's recommendation for his sentencing is causing outrage. A mere 1 day in prison. This seemingly lenient punishment has ignited a firestorm of criticism and renewed calls for accountability. Hankison was found guilty by a federal jury of using excessive force during the botched raid on Taylor's apartment. The raid, based on a no-knock warrant, resulted in a chaotic scene where officers dressed in plain clothes burst into Taylor's home in the early morning hours. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired a shot, believing intruders were breaking in, striking an officer. The officers returned fire, discharging 32 bullets into the apartment. 10 of those bullets were fired by Hankison, penetrating a neighboring apartment, where a pregnant woman, a 5-year-old child, and a man were asleep. Crucially, while Hankison's shots didn't hit anyone, the prosecution argued his actions were reckless and violated fundamental rules of engagement. His firing of shots into a neighboring apartment shows a disregard for public safety. The Justice Department, however, is recommending a sentence of just 1 day in prison, citing time already served. They argue that while Hankison participated in the execution of the warrant, he did not directly cause Taylor's death, and further incarceration would be unjust. This recommendation has been met with fierce opposition. Attorneys for the Taylor family have called the proposal an insult and argue it sends a message that white officers can violate the civil rights of black Americans with impunity. They highlight the profound impact of Taylor's death on her family and the broader black community, emphasizing that a 1-day sentence minimizes the gravity of Hankison's actions and fails to deliver justice. The case underscores the complexities of the justice system in addressing police misconduct, especially when dealing with incidents involving racial dynamics. The disparity between the maximum possible sentence, life imprisonment, and the proposed 1-day sentence highlights the ongoing debate over the appropriate punishment for officers involved in such cases. The lack of charges directly related to Taylor's death against the other officers involved continues to fuel outrage and questions about accountability within law enforcement. The case also serves as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for police reform and the pursuit of justice for victims of police brutality. Hankison's conviction, while a step towards accountability, does little to alleviate the pain suffered by the Taylor family. The sentencing hearing for Brett Hankison is scheduled for next week, where a judge will consider the government's recommendation. The outcome will undoubtedly have significant implications for future cases involving police misconduct and civil rights violations. The case continues to highlight the deep divisions within American society regarding race, policing, and justice. The outrage surrounding the proposed 1-day sentence underscores the ongoing need for meaningful reform within law enforcement and a commitment to ensuring equal justice under the law for all. Regardless of the final decision, the Breonna Taylor case will remain a powerful symbol in the fight for racial justice and police accountability. The question remains, will 1 day in prison truly reflect the gravity of the events that unfolded that night and the profound loss suffered by the Taylor family?